Hey, hi guys. Hi, EM. How are you today, babe? So nice to see you, sweetheart. By the way, I just put out a Pisces video. I know you look forward to those ones. Annie, yes, I bumped Gemini up on the list. I decided let's wait to do Aries until after Gemini. I know you're looking forward to Gem. So thank you, Gemini watchers out there. Let's get into this. All right, so we're going to take a look. What do they want to say to Gemini? First, I want to see who this person is, though, and then we'll ask that question, okay? Oh, we got the devil. We got Queen of Swords. We got the Page of Pentacles. There's somebody that's been fighting, possibly because this looks like a text fight. Doesn't mean rage texting, but obviously they've been stressed. They've been wanting to communicate with Gemini, but at the same time, they're not matching Gemini's energy because we have a page here. Here's a queen, here's a page. This is likely not going so well. I don't know if they're intimidated by Gemini, intimidated by the conversation, trying to keep things more lighthearted so they can dance around. Let me ask, why do you have the devil? Five of Wands sideways. It feels like he's trying to pre-think, what does Gemini want me to say? Instead of just answering like truthfully, perhaps. We got the Seven of Wands. It makes me think this is somebody who would want to communicate, but they're not sure how to do it and do it right. Maybe they feel like there's a lot riding on this. Maybe this is somebody who's like, if we're having any communication at all, there's a billion things I'd like to say and I'd like to get things to flow smoother, but I don't know how to accomplish that. So I'm trying to either like express myself more or better, but also not overexpress because I don't want to say the wrong thing and offend. Okay, Hermit. Either this person's not the best at conversation or they are way overthinking how to talk to Gemini. And maybe that's because they're nervous. If this is, we don't know yet if this is a reconciliation type of story or if this is two people that are just, maybe he hasn't dated in a long time. It doesn't have to be a him either. Of course, I don't read for genders, but here we're going to keep saying him because we have a masculine on this Virgo Hermit card. Okay, so let me go ahead and maybe that explains a little bit why he's so like, they always say Virgos are very, very analytical. Geminis are excellent communicators. Virgos maybe can be excellent communicators, but it has to be like with precision and it has to be analyzed. And he definitely looks like he's in his head. I could see him being a Virgo with that message. What do you want from Gemini? Sorry, guys. Seven of Coins in the reverse, Seven of Wands upright. And here they've got like a ring through their tongue. So I definitely feel like they want to figure out a way to get themselves untongue-tied. And now, like not later, but now, they're trying to grow like in the moment. They're trying to either expand their vocabulary so they are a better communicator or get themselves, maybe they feel like they put their foot in their mouth or something. We have a Three of Cups and it's sideways. I say, what do they want? And it's like, I want Gemini to want to talk to me. I want to be interesting. I want to be somebody that they want to keep communicating with. Okay. So is this a love story or is this from their perspective? Is this a wannabe love story? Okay. King of Cups. Yes. Here they are drinking some liquid courage over here. We got like one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. Little John Lee Hooker coming in. I feel there's another song by John Lee Hooker that's coming in my head right now, which is This Is Hip, Pretty Baby, Messed Around and Fell in Love. And in it, he says, you want to talk to me for a long, long time. And this is hip, pretty baby. It's, like it's awesome that she's interested in him. That song is coming to mind almost like first he's got to get the liquid courage to start talking on the phone. And then he wants a conversation to keep going. And he wants to hear that Gemini wants to talk to him. And we've got these kind of sketched out blooming roses behind him. And it's like, oh my God, it would be so awesome if Gemini was attracted to me. It would be so awesome if they wanted to open up to me. And I would like to open up to Gemini, but I think I have to do it drunk. Like that's how this feels. Hi, Hetty. Good to see you. It feels like this is somebody who literally, it's very, very hard for them to open up, particularly about matters of passion. Okay, so we have a Knight of Wands sideways. I'm just going to have to be blunt because this says they will take Gemini on any terms they can get Gemini. It's like, Gemini, if you only want me for the night, then that's all right. That's not all I would want. But on the other hand, I'll take what I can get. But I don't want to say it in that way because they're hoping for a heck of a lot more. This is somebody who on one hand is awkward and also very humbly like wishing that they could offer themselves for like, I'll accept your breadcrumbs if that's all you've got to give me, because I feel like this person actually has a ton of emotions for Gemini, but I don't know that they know how to say those words either. Okay, so let's go to the next component, which is, what do you want to say to Gemini? Now, this could be really tough for them, right? Oh my God, seriously, we just got a King of Swords sideways. Talk about tough for them to find the words. Tower in the reverse, Fool card upright. I think they actually might want to say, I'm not real good with words. That's the bottom line. I'm don't have an easy time with this. I feel like I don't want to come across desperate, but I kind of am. Take a big old leap, but I'm trying not to come across as desperate here. I mean, maybe that's the most authentic way to say it, because that's the real truth. That we've seen it throughout this whole thing. We've seen they constantly are like freaking out about talking to Gemini, wanting Gemini, kind of willing to take Gemini on any terms that Gemini will give their energy to them, and trying to admit that in the most succinct way possible by saying, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say because I don't want to come across as desperate. I don't want to drop my ego. But on the other hand, that's exactly what I'm doing by telling you point blank. I would literally drive, all night to get to see you. I would pretty much take a big old leap. Okay. Let me ask this, what's your situation like? This is what they wish they could say to Gemini. I just want to make sure, is this character single? Is this person available? Their situation, Seven of Swords. We saw them as a hermit, somebody who's should be solo. But this says that they've been lying about their situation. A Five of Cups, King of Wands. They've been extremely lonely for some period of time. And in fact, this person, although they may not be good at showing warmth, I feel like this person is both passionate and sensitive. We've seen them as a King of Cups, as a King of Wands. Actually, this person feels like a freaking catch. They're just somebody who's been hurt and they don't really want to exactly explain that. There's somebody who's tentatively, wobbling their way toward Gemini, but maybe they're way out of practice. They haven't had a romantic partner in a long time. They know what it feels like to be kind of abandoned. This is somebody who, it's funny because this is like somebody who's not hiding anything, and this is somebody who's hiding, right? This is somebody who's hiding the fact that maybe they haven't had such a great time in love, and they know that they are vulnerable, and they know that they give their whole heart, and they're like, I'm trying not to do that and bombard somebody because maybe that was a criticism in a past relationship, like, oh, you're so needy, or oh, you're so this, when in fact maybe they're just really loving. Like, how lucky to have somebody that's open with their emotions and loving. But I wonder if they've gotten harshly criticized for that, and so now they're like, I don't want to come across as needy, I don't want to come across as desperate. Now I don't know how to tell somebody that I like them, or I'm attracted to them, or the fact that I think about them all the time because I think they're wonderful, because, hey, I was told that's the reason somebody else didn't want to be with me, because I was too warm, or I was, I could understand how this person would be like, once you get criticized for just being kind, then you go, okay, how do I change that about me? Because I'm not supposed to be open. Okay. Oh, don't be warm. Because that's needy. Like, what do you do when you get criticized for being awesome? And punished for nothing. Like, that's how this person is coming across to me. No wonder they're like, God, I don't want to blow it with Gemini. I don't know how to talk to Gemini. I don't know. So it's actually fear. It's not toxicity on their part. It's more like, I don't want to do another wrong thing the way I guess I messed it up with somebody else in the past. I think they just got heavily criticized. in the past. Let's take a look at who is Gemini in all of this. How's Gemini feeling about this? Hi, Christopher, Deb, Linda. So good to see everybody. We have got the Ace of Wands, we got the High Priestess, and we've got the Emperor in the reverse. How Gemini looks at this, so interesting. Gemini may actually have mixed intuitions about this person, because it's like, I'm feeling the vibe that they want me. They're attracted to me. But I think that this person is showing me energy of like something I don't like with this Emperor in the reverse. I'm picking up vibes that they're attracted to me, but look, if they're coming across as awkward and cold, they could seem like an Emperor in the reverse. So Emperors upright are like all the best traits of, what a divine masculine would be, like a good leader, a good, like considerate person, somebody who protects those that they love, somebody that is kind and balanced and makes fair judgment, somebody who's not looking for other people to follow them, but rather leads their life, with integrity and leads by example. And it's like, it doesn't matter if people follow me or not, I still have convictions, and this is what's right, and this is what I do. That to me is a great divine masculine. This almost seems like they're giving off vibes of, I don't know if they're trying to get my attention, want me to chase them. I don't know if they want to be like, have a bunch of attention placed upon them. It seems like Gemini thinks this person, I know they're attracted to me, but I think that they're being a jerk about it. Let me just, because it doesn't seem like Gemini likes this person very much. To be honest, it feels like they have a different opinion about this person. King of Wands sideways. Oh, sorry. We have 2 cards. And Strength card. It's weird because Gemini is like, or I'm off beat on this. Look, a High Priestess energy is amazing, right? Because it's super intuitive, but our intuition can only pick up so much information. Intuition doesn't necessarily mean that we have all the facts straight. We can see somebody's behavior, which Gemini's aware. They're looking at me like a snack. I can see they're attracted to me, but I can't understand the way they're approaching or not approaching me. I can't understand what's going on with them because I don't know them well enough. Are they loving and warm and brave and they're holding back? Or are they somebody who's like kind of a jerk and they're like giving me the look and then halfway is ignoring me and expecting me to come over to them because they're used to people like falling all over them? Or are they someone who is typically warm and loving and courageous, but for some reason they're just not right now? It's interesting because I think Gemini is like basically picking up on everything that we've just said about this person, right? We see that they're scared. We see that they're being kind of lighthearted instead of real serious. They're not getting around to asking Gemini out exactly or saying what they need to say, but they're building up to it. And Gemini's like thrown off kilter. Like, I can't read what the heck their attitude is. They're either great and I'll find that out, or they're a monster and an arrogant fool and I'll find that out. So Gemini's like somewhere smack dab in between. I wonder if they in turn are picking up on that. Because remember how we had that 5 of Wands sideways? They're like, I'm trying to figure out what Gemini is thinking, especially if this is texting. This is such a bad idea. I'm sorry, this is such a bad idea. Texting has so much space for mistakes and, tone that doesn't come across. I do feel like Gemini's like, this person's either an ass or they're great. I don't know yet. 9 of Wands. Gemini is aware that this person has some wounds. That comes through, but they don't know if it makes them an asshole or if it makes them somebody who's nice, who's doing their best to navigate when they're still wounded. I gotta say, this is starting to look like it's kind of a bit of a turnoff for Gemini, but maybe I'm wrong. Is Gemini attracted to this person? The Tower. Gemini's like, if they would just spit out what they really need to say, if they would just show me the real them, then I could evaluate that. Then I could say yes or no. But they need to drop the whole ego thing, because hiding stuff isn't working for me because I can see through it, but it's too murky for me to know exactly what I'm seeing. So I wish they'd just speak to me as they wish that they could. And maybe that brings us back around to, we got some, maybe they're drunk texting right now. They're sitting at home having a few beverages and going to be texting Gemini. And that's they're working up to being able to say something meaningful. The only thing is, again, that might feel really like immature to Gemini, or like, what are you doing? Just speak to me. Speak to me. I don't bite. Look, I can see both sides of it. I can see this being confusing for Gemini, and I can see them being scared for, valid reasons, and not hoping that they don't insult, but they're kind of, they need to drop the whole thing, the ego aspect of this, and just tell Gemini how they feel. Universe, what's the best message to Gemini on this? The sun. If Gemini enjoys any aspect of talking to this person, then by all means have a nice time. If Gemini wants to get to know this person better, ask them point blank. If Gemini wants this person to drop the ego, ask them point blank. Like, I'm trying to figure you out. Are you looking for happiness? Are you somebody who wants a partnership? We got the 10 of Cups. Are you somebody who thinks that, relationships could be really lovely, especially if you have somebody by your side that you can trust and rely on? Or are you like just playing games, or what's your deal? Asking point blank, getting the answer to the question instead of being like, I wish they'd do this, I wish they'd do that. This says Gemini has every ability to just, without any acid to it, just happily saying, I'm trying to figure you out, trying to peg you here. What's your deal? Because, here's what I look for. I like happy. I want a partner who's standing there waiting with their arms open to greet me at the end of the day. That's something I would really like to have. Partner who's warm, who tells me they're happy to see me. Somebody, you know how good it is to, like, if I called Aries' name in just a minute, Aries would be here in a flash, and I'm not saying that we want people to be pets. I'm just giving an example of, like, it's so amazing when, you have people or anything that shows you that they pay attention to your voice and they care if you're around. That's a really lovely feeling. And if that's really what Gemini needs to express to them, then maybe expressing what Gemini likes will be a way to, like, allow them to say, oh my God, that's exactly what I like too. But somebody else told me that was really messed up and really wrong. So I've been afraid to come across as too warm. That could clear the air way faster than anything. All right, let's just see. What's the message to them? Two of Wands in the reverse. Best message to them is, don't be indecisive about anything. If you feel a feel, commit to it, say it. If you feel like you need to tell Gemini something, just tell them the real thing you need to tell them. It does us no good to hedge too many bets and stay on one side of the fence or the other, because either Gemini is going to like the authentic you, which they'll get to know at some point, or they'll get to know the authentic you at some point and not like the authentic you. So cut to the chase and save yourself time. Hey, I tend to be really warm. I got criticized for it. I don't want to come on too strong, but I really like you, Gemini. It would be better to just own it, so you cut to it and get a lot of wasted time moved out of the way. I kind of like this, because we just took something, awkward and tentative, and we just kind of made it like, nah, this isn't so scary. This could be really lovely. In fact, I'm rooting for these two, actually. You guys, thanks again. So good to see you. Hi to Linda. I will get to Ophiuchus today as well, sweetheart. And I still have Aries to do and Scorpio as well. I'll see you guys in just a few minutes for those. Lots of love. Tammy Secord, such a delight to see you. Thanks again, Linda and Deb and EM. Annie S. Thank you, everybody. Hetty, so great to see you guys. All right, take care. I'll see you again in a few. Bye.